Hello there, I'm Kath from Calm Beginnings, and I'm going to show you how you can set up Shavasana when you're on holidays without any props whatsoever. Not just when you're on holidays, but any time that you need to get a bit of rest. In Restorative Yoga, we use a lot of props to get the body really comfortable, and sometimes it's just not appropriate. You don't have the equipment with you, and you just need to get down and get a relaxation happening straight away. So here's a few tips as to how to do that, to set your body up so it's very comfortable. First thing is the room. You need to make sure you've got a quiet space. So the recipe is still, quiet, dark and warm. It's about 10:30 in the morning here in southern Australia. So the sun's well and truly up, but I've got the blind out as far as I can get it. I've closed the door into the bedroom, and I've just got a light down here so you can see me. I'm choosing to do this on our queen size bed because it's a quiet spot in the house today to give the recording. You could easily do this on the floor. I find a bedroom's great to retreat to because you can often get to another part of the house where there's less noise. And if I was to do it on the bed, I would do it where my feet normally are to sleep. So the head is down the foot end, because when we do a relaxation, it's different to sleeping. We can be quite tense when we sleep, but when we learn the art of relaxation, the body becomes more relaxed and our brain waves are actually working differently. They're actually at a different rate. So there's quite a difference between sleep and relaxation. Okay, so the room's set up. I'm doing it on this bed, and it's a good sized bed because I can spread out, and I'll show you why it's good to get the arms wide. The other thing is to gather all you need, and I've learnt this over time. You get down, you think, I didn't get my cover, or I forgot my eye pillow. So it's good to do a mental note of what you need. So first of all, let's look at the eye covers. The eye and the light coming in is a stimulus to the brain. So it's great if it's comfortable for you to make sure you cover your eyes. There's a few variations. Mini eye pillows, or eye bags as they're called, are around about this size. They vary a lot in size. Some have wheat in them, some have linseed or flaxseed, because that tends to mould into the shape of your face. If you do use a bigger bag like this, it's best if you can try and get the seeds placed so you don't have a heavy spot right on your eyeball. So only about 25% of the weight needs to be on the bag, on your eyeball, and the rest needs to go around the eyeball. So around the top and the sides and the cheeks here. So that's if you've got a bigger bag. These little bags are fantastic. They've got linseed in them, and you can see there's a split. There's the person who made this. Try and get the light there so you can see. They've sewn a little strip along there to separate each side, so you've got an equal weight on each side. And these are fantastic because they just sit over your eyeballs, and they're quite a lightweight. So the reason why we have lightness is that any weight can actually flatten the fluid in the eye, and when you get up from it, your vision can be a bit blurry, which can take about 20 minutes to come back to normal. So lighter is better. The other thing I really like is this worn out sarong that I have, and it's nice and soft. It's been used a lot and washed a lot, and I actually like to wrap it around my head like this, where you go across one eye, across the other eye, and then you can actually tuck it around your ears. So if you've got a lawnmower going next door, or you're on a noisy road, that fabric by the ears can actually help to muffle the noise a bit. I learnt that living on a busy road in the past. So they're the variations of eye bags. The other thing is to have a cover. Here it's warming up a bit, so it's much easier with covers. Sometimes I've got up to 3 blankets on me, extra blanket on my feet because they get really cold, and often a blanket across my chest because my hands often get cold. However, in summer, something like a light blanket, and that a light cover gives you a sense of protection as well, because lying in Shavasana, you can be very, very exposed. Now, the other thing is a timer. Now, I've got an iPhone, and These are fantastic for their timers. There's actually an app you can get called Insight Timer, and you can't actually see it there because it's too bright. So Insight Timer, you can download the app, and they have these lovely little bells that you can set, and the one I'm using is this one. So it's a nice gentle sound. So you can set it to give you the ding at the beginning and then a ding at the end of your time. That was set for 10 seconds, so that was the ending bell. And you can set the volume up or down. The other thing about timing is if you want to do a decent relaxation, it's best to set the timer for 20 minutes. And you might think, oh my God, that's a long time. However, we need a good 15 minutes for the average person to really let go and relax. So 15 minutes is minimum. And then if you allow another 5 minutes, that 5 minutes, sometimes you can go into a really lovely deep space, and that's a really special space. You don't know you're there until you come back. So ideally, if you can make 20 minutes in your day your relaxation time, and if you do that regularly, over time, you'll notice quite a shift in your health. It has a huge impact on our physical health. All the organs in our body get to have a rest. Our muscles get to have a rest. And more importantly, over time, your mind will start to have a rest as well. Okay, so that's what we need. Now, a few little bits of anatomy before I show you. There's a spot on the back of our head called the occiput, and underneath that, there's a flat bit. So that flat bit I'm going to refer to, and that's what we need to rest our head on the bed around that area, which means that your chin comes forward. When the chin comes forward, it stimulates the calmness, the calming effect in our body, the relaxation response, or the parasympathetic nervous system. The other area of the body is the scapula. The scapula is the shoulder blade. So it's quite hard to feel it yourself because it's hard to get your hand around, but it's about there. So it's that triangular bone. And if you do this, often you can feel the shoulder blade moving. So I'm going to be referring to that when we lie down. Okay, so here's how we do it. I'm going to put my gear close by. I'm going to use my tiny eye bag and the cover. So 3 things: eye bag, timer, and a cover. I also take my watch off because that tells me I'm symbolically letting go of time. So I'm getting on the bed. And what I prefer to do, first off, is set the timer. So I've got my Insight Timer. I roughly take about 3 minutes to set up to get myself comfortable. And I like to have a 20-minute total relaxation Savasana time. So I'm going to set this for 23 minutes. Okay, that's the beginning of my time, but I'm going to explain to you the setups. I'm going to get my cover ready. So this is a cotton blanket, and it's a really nice weight for this time of year. So I'm putting that down the end there, just on my feet. First thing is to check that I'm in the middle. So when I put my arms out wide, the arms are still on the bed. If you're over one side more than the other, that's not going to feel so good. So always make sure you're in the middle. So have a rough measure up. And also that your head's not going to go over the end of the bed. First thing is to just check, are my legs hip width apart? And they are. And then I'm going to get my calves and I'm going to turn the calves inwards. So the muscle of the calf turns in to the midline. Then I'm putting my hands under my thighs and I'm going to roll the thighs out. So that big muscle in the thigh, each side, I'm going to roll it out. And that gets the legs into a nice position. I come back onto my elbows, put my thumbs under my body, and then I'm going to round my lower back and ease my back onto the floor, getting that stretch between my hips and my ribs. And I can feel my lower ribs at the back coming down and come all the way down and put my head down. Now, it feels really nice. Oops, one thing I forgot, to bring my cover up. So that's so you can see. So I'm going to roll the calves in, roll the thighs out, ease my back down, get the cover so it's not too far away, put my eye bag now on my chest so it's close by, ease my back and my head down, take the back of my head and just lengthen the neck. So I'm lifting up and stretching my hair away from my neck and then resting it down. Then with my right arm, I'm reaching across, taking my left wrist. And the left arm's going to be really passive and loose and heavy. And I'm going to draw across my body and I'm taking the arm, so I'm stretching my scapula, my shoulder blade away from the spine. So I'm getting space between the scapula and the spine. Then I ease that arm down. And then I take the other wrist and do the same on this side, stretching the arm over to get space between the scapula and the spine, easing that arm down and just letting it roll down like this. Next thing is to lengthen the back of the head again, so I'm not shifting my shoulders or my elbows, they stay on the floor, and I'm just taking my head so the chin comes down, taking off my glasses, putting on the eye pillow without disturbing my shoulders, and then releasing my arms down, bring the cover up a little more, and there we go. The last thing is to just drop the chin down a little more, and you'll notice that I've got my wrists on the floor, so the palms are facing more towards the wall where my feet are. So having your arms in that position relaxes the shoulder joint down. Now, it's important just to tune in, how does that feel? Sometimes with the shoulders, you might like to just bring them down a little, but having that wide space with the arms away from the body, that helps the breathing because the ribs are free to move out to the side. And as you lie there, be aware of the belly becoming soft. Be aware of the body becoming more intimate with the bed, with the floor. And think about the brain dropping to the back of your head. I can hear a lawnmower outside. So that would be a perfect instance of putting on my sarong, wrapping it around my head. So this is the setup for Shavasana without any props. 20 minutes daily will create a huge change across our world. Consider it a gift to yourself. So now to come out of this, lift up one foot, place it on the bed, and then the second foot, place it on the bed. And then allow your body to roll over to whichever side is comfortable. Ideally, it's nice to lie here for about 5 breaths. So you're taking your time to come back into the world. When you come up, I'd suggest you allow your head to lag behind and then gradually come up. Enjoy. And remember, 20 minutes Shavasana daily will give you good health. Namaste.